And we are back on WCEG talkradio.com. Once again, you can call in at 678-619-1402. That's 678-619-1402. And now I have my co-host in the building. Sayonara Raymond, what's going on?
What's going on, Wardell? I'm happy to finally make it. I'm here. That's all that matters in front of these beautiful women. I'm glad to be here and join y'all.
I'm glad you're here, man. I was like, where is Sai?
That me too. I was saying the same thing.
I'm glad you made it, man. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Where you from? How you got here? Okay. What you do?
Let's see. I'm from Nicaragua originally, and actress, mom, wife. I guess I'm kind of like that cheerleader. You know what I mean? Like I'm all for women, all for men, and the empowerment that we all can join forces together. To do what is supposed to be done here on Earth. But that's it. I'm just a happy-go-lucky type of person that's just here.
Oh, you just come on now. You just skipped over a whole slew of stuff.
Like what?
First of all, you're very talented at what you do. You do websites and all this kind of stuff. You like what?
Well, see, that's just fun stuff to me. That's all in the umbrella, like under the umbrella of like arts.
You produce
because I get bored easily, and so I love just dibbling and dabbling into just different things, and see where I can be used in some type of way because. My father always said that the more that you learn, the more that you read, the more that you'll be able to help someone else in every different facet. Like our testimonies helps another person by us just finally being okay to talk about it and say it. Without you even knowing. You're like, no, I'm not gonna talk about this. Okay. Because you're closed up. So yeah. All those things, I guess I've never really put it out there or I don't promote those things because those are services that I use only for my friends. And I mean, it's not like I'm making money. I'm not making money because it's not for that. I know how to do it. Let me do it for you. Yeah. Oh, cool. Then that means that they don't have to go somewhere else and spend that money because all of us are entrepreneurs. And if I believe in my friends, I got you. Whatever it is that I have, the tool belt and the skills that I have under my tool belt, is all for
and you definitely mean that. You've helped. You helped me out a couple times. Came through for a brother. So you know what I'm saying. So
like, damn, I'm not on his show.
Yeah, I'm gonna rag you for a while on that one. But anyway, I'm glad you made it safely.
Yes.
And I just asked the ladies because they all have. She has 5 kids, 3 kids, 5 kids.
Yeah, I heard that. And I was writing some questions down because I was like, okay, who has what? Yeah, right. Let me tell y'all, everybody out there, I know y'all watching on the video. No, ain't nobody got no 5 kids. Nope. You guys look amazing. Like, seriously.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. Y'all still like, look. I don't have no makeup on. I got one. What's my excuse? And I'm late. So come on. That makes me look really bad. Straight up.
I wasn't trying to put you like that.
No, I'm real. Like I'll be the first one to put myself out there and be like, no, yeah, that's so bad. Ooh. No excuses. So don't let me have it.
And they're all doing like amazing things, authors and life coaches and starting business. And I wanted to get back on Dietrich real quick because I asked them. Well, let me go back. I asked them, was it difficult for them to date? Because, men sometimes, some men have difficult with women who have more than a certain amount of children or anything like that. So, Stacy.
She said she's never had a problem. Ever.
Well, they all said they never had a problem.
Ever.
And which does,
And that's kind of funny how all of them said it, right?
Right.
Somebody,
I don't have a problem.
Somebody lying that where you heard that from.
No, I've heard guys say it. I want about more than 2 kids.
So we should be saying the same thing.
Hey.
NACL, right?
Hey,
right.
Now, I know a guy that's got 21 kids.
Oh, yeah. I do too.
Mm-hmm. All by himself.
Oh, he trying to have more. He wants to have tons of them.
Wow.
You see how
Do
that
he
sounds?
take care of all of them?
That's a question I don't know.
See, and that is the next question.
I just know the guy. He just happened to be bragging about it, and I was just like, and he's young. He's in
We
his
need to
30s.
bring those women in, please.
In his 30s with 21.
He's in his 30s.
Oh gosh.
So
They
That
all
was
over
it.
the place.
yeah, 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 yeah. So but with that being said, I doubt he taking care. I mean, he don't. I mean, he may. I don't know. I can't judge the guy, but that's a lot of kids.
If he's bragging about it, I mean, obviously something. There's a reason why he was bragging about it.
like
Because you don't
he
really
won.
brag about it unless you got like
He
the
won.
whole full photo album. You know what I'm saying? Like, here's all of my kids. What's up?
Yeah. I don't know. He's
21.
I'm just like, oh.
That's a lot. Like, he wasn't even, has he been 20?
Well, because I wouldn't want to be judged. I wouldn't judge him, and
Yeah.
to each his own.
Right.
That's not something I would be interested in. That's just a little bit too many.
Yeah. It's a
Or is-
little bold to be
Little
joking
bit.
about
Just
that.
say a
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want anyone to judge me for me and my 5 kids. I mean, they all have different
Stacy
fathers.
being on there.
So, and people are quick to judge that.
Right.
And they don't understand that my first 4 are 6 years apart each. Right. And how old I am when they find out. They're like, oh, okay, it makes sense. That's possible.
Right, but tell them what you really do. Tell them what you do. Because you a mother, then you always going to be an amazing mother, no matter how many.
How many?
Right.
What
That's right.
exactly makes you you? Because, see, that's one thing that I think I've been asked a lot. Well, are you still acting? Are you still doing this? They think like as soon as you turn to be a mom, you're
Right.
like,
Like you're not
you have
supposed
no
to be
life.
able to do anything.
You're not
But I
supposed
didn't
to look cute no more.
I didn't have that problem actually with the mother part. The problem I have is I have active cervical cancer, and so when I tell people I have cancer, it's like, oh my God, like I'm not supposed to be doing nothing.
How do you do it? How do you do it? Oh my gosh!
Yes.
And you're like, what?
And when I was first diagnosed, I actually didn't tell anyone for about 2.5 years. I
That's
kept
good.
it. I kept it to myself, and
Wow.
at first I didn't understand why I did it. I just, well, yeah, I do understand.
do.
I do understand. I was in the military, and if you know anything about the military, you have to always be soldier ready.
Right.
And I felt I was physically fit, and if anybody found out, I was going to lose my job in the
Exactly.
military. So, which I ended up, was forced to medically retire.
Right.
But at that time, so that was my main number one reason.
Right.
Next to that, I didn't want that. Oh my God. Are you okay? And
Yeah.
I
Right,
really
right.
didn't want my kids to know because in all honesty, I'm like their superhero.
Wow.
Right. So to tell them that I'm sick,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of felt it would change how they looked at me. Not because I needed them to look like that, but
Right.
I was the only person in the world that they have to depend on.
Right.
So I don't want them to lose any hope or
Mm-hmm.
anything like that, and they're all doing well. All those that are grown now, they're all doing well. And I think back, well, like, what if I had told them? Could that have changed the trajectory of where they're going because of their hope and their dreams and their things like that?
Right.
And, what if mom's not here? And there were a few iffy, touchy times.
Wow.
But I don't have that problem with the dating part, but I had that issue with the being
Right.
sick because when you say cancer, people look at you like you're
gonna
dying
plague the
tomorrow.
Like, yeah.
You're dying
Yeah.
tomorrow.
Like it's only a matter of time or something.
And
yeah.
oh my God, you don't look like it. And my
How are you
favorite
supposed
word
to
is
look?
what does cancer look like?
Right.
It looks like me
Wow.
because I got it, But yeah,
Yeah.
so as far as being a mom and having a disease, I was never given a terminal diagnosis, but to be to fight through it, the pain and things like that, it's hard as well. But then again, I have those children that have no one else to depend on but
Right.
me. So you have
Right.
to keep going. You have to find a way.
How was when you finally got to the decision you wanted to make?
And I don't have a problem dating with cancer. Anyway, to cover that question. Before
Well, I already figured that out. So, when you finally got to where you wanted to tell your children and everybody, how did they take it? Or do they still?
I didn't have like no big meeting and say, hey, I got something to tell y'all. I didn't do that.
Okay.
My daughter, actually, she was away at college and she kept asking. She was like, something's wrong with you. I know it is. You're going to tell me one day.
Wow.
I'll tell you. but we're really close, and she's
Yeah.
my only girl.
No,
So
she feels
I
you.
knew that, and she's actually the mom. If you
Okay.
see us together, y'all think I'm the daughter and she the mama. So she knew, and she kept hounding and hounding and hounding, and then the one under her. He's kind of smart, but he's quiet in nature, period. I mean, we used to think he couldn't talk. I was getting ready at 5 to take him to the doctor and we're like, can the little boy talk? Because he ain't say nothing. He stand in the corner and look at you, though. And you'd be like, oh, my God, something's wrong with him. But he's just, quiet in nature. And he didn't say much. And the other two, they don't care. If it ain't a video game, they don't even care. Like, oh, she's sick. Okay. So,
Right.
I mean, so it wasn't that I just came out with this big announcement. I didn't do that. Finally, I think I got really sick and I really, really scared. I had a scare. And I said, well, let me at least tell my daughter because, she was going to inherit some children if, something happened.
Wow.
And so that's kind of what made me just
Yeah.
really tell her. But
Okay.
you just go on with life.
Right.
And you have to stay positive when you're going through things like that.
Right.
And I guess that's why I kind of look at it totally different than other people. I don't look at it like, oh, I've got this death sentence. Oh, I need help. I've still have never, and not to jist anyone else, but I've never had benefits. I mean,
But that's why I kind of admired you.
and
when
it
I
ain't
went
been
to
that easy.
When I went to that event that Women on the Rise had, and you were there and you were sick, and that's why I told you, like,
Yeah.
when you was walking out,
Yeah. You had to make sure.
I had to. I walked out behind you just to see if you were gonna make it to your car because I could tell you were sick.
I was
Yeah, he
really
told me
sick
the
that
story.
night. Yeah.
I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I even told her.
Yeah.
I said, man, I just felt like she was sick or something was going on, but
I was really sick that night.
yeah.
But I still had to show up,
And I didn't even know you. I just knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm glad you're good
Yeah.
and everything. And
But see,
the
'cause
fact that you.
But see, everybody's opinion or what they need to know, like it's almost like it makes them afraid to come and approach you and ask you, hey, are you okay? Because one, they don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
they're gonna watch out for you. Like
Yeah.
Wardell. Well, people like Wardell.
Yeah, yeah.
And that means a lot because he
It
came,
does.
like
It
he
does.
came and he told me about it. Like I was like, wow.
Yeah.
You
And
know?
I told her, I said, that was a strong woman right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
she came and she just did her thing and she was like, look, I'm sick, but I'm here.
And
Yeah.
Right.
she's done it on like many occasions with our, that night I think you were probably really, really, but I mean, just watching her inspires me,
Right.
and
Right.
it's a bunch of us that are really quote unquote strong women.
Right.
But when you see that, you're like, wow, and it takes
Right.
you to a different level. So,
Absolutely. I mean, you taught it's a whole different lesson that you can't get at school.
Right. And then I said too, like I said, it has to do with our legacy. We all have children. We all have hopes and dreams. And what is it that we want to leave for them?
Absolutely.
And it's not necessarily materialistic because I leave a lot of lessons for them. I think a lot of my strength comes from the soldierization because there's no such thing as calling in work and things like that. Because before that, I worked in corporate America before I joined, and they used to call me a drive-by employee. I get all the way there and call in.
Oh, are you serious?
Like notorious for
You would
doing
get
that.
up, get dressed, on your way to work, and get almost there and call in.
I worked an hour away. I drive all the way to Nashville
Wow.
and get in the parking lot and be like, this is not for me today. And call in.
And so how did they must have saw you in the parking
A
lot.
couple times people like, you know what you be doing.
there goes Stacy.
I even called a couple of friends in the building. I'm like, who in there today? Because girl, I don't think I can come in.
Oh my
Is it cool for me to call in today? Who in there? But once I joined the military, there was no such thing as that.
Right.
Right.
You can't call in. It's like,
Oh no.
I'm sick today. Okay, well, I still need you in the formation, and I still need to see what you
Right.
look like. And then if I think you're sick enough, you can go to sick call. And then you don't want to be labeled, a bad soldier, you know,
Right.
for faking sick and things
Right,
like that.
right.
So you know,
You tough
you
it out.
learn how to tough out the
That
pain.
discipline, yeah.
And then even now, you know, my doctor said, you know, I don't have a really high pain tolerance, but they say you have a higher pain tolerance than most. And I said, well, maybe that's because all the times I had to just stand there in pain and look like that I'm not in pain.
Yeah.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, it's a lot of lessons that build your strength in becoming a mother. And I wanted to address that what I was saying about the benefit part. That has a lot to do with it too as well. Of course, I grew up that way, and I said that I would never go through that.
Right.
But there have been many times that I'm like $2 or $3 over the scale, and they tell me no. So even though $2 or $3, like you can't even give me $50 and some stamps or something to help me feed these children. You know what I mean?
Right.
So when you get the no, you have to find a way to do it. You just have to find a way.
You'll find another creative way.
You got to find a way. So that
Right.
builds strength in itself. Like, are they gonna eat tonight? Like,
Yeah, you gotta.
I don't know. You got to figure it
Right,
out. So
right,
yeah, I mean,
right.
I haven't had the opportunity to be there, but I was close.
So, what part of that whole situation would you say was your biggest struggle? Was it taking care of the kids, or was it going through the illness that you have? Like, what is your biggest struggle?
My biggest struggle was when I was actually a domestic violence victim,
Really?
and having my children see that. That was the biggest struggle, because once again, it comes back to the kids and what we're teaching in them and what we're putting in them and what we're allowing them to see. A lot of people don't understand and realize that children are what you allowed them to see.
Right.
That's why they are where they are. If you're
Right.
you're disappointed, you need to really check yourself and
Right.
figure out what it is that you've taught and imparted into them. That's number one. So
Okay.
that was my biggest struggle, because I was real wrong in that situation.
Wow. You hear that? She's so selfless
And you
that
know
she's
what?
talking about her.
And I get a lot of flack sometimes when I do speak in the domestic violence arena, because it's like, oh my God, you're bashing victims. No, I'm not. You got to wake up one day and realize that you had to play a part in that as well. Right? Like your mindset might not have even been where it should have been. But once you own that, you can move from that. But a lot of people won't own that. They like that victim playing that victim is just
Right.
so much better than doing anything else. And so
Right.
that was my biggest challenge, because I had to learn to move from victim to real survivor. Right?
You gotta love you
Wow.
first.
You got
I've
to
been
love
there.
you
I've
first.
been there. You gotta love you first.
So that was
Right.
my biggest challenge. And so the biggest challenge was, at the time I was teaching school. I was a seventh grade science teacher, and I was ready to join the military. I'm already well above the most people's age of joining the military. And one of the ladies, she was a friend, neighbor, whatever, and she called me one day and she said, are you going to really join the military? I'm like, yeah, it's the only way I think I can get away from him. She said, well, I just called to tell you that you might want to do something now, because you're going to come home one day and your daughter be done kill that man. Right? That was a wake-up call. Because she's not down the street sharing, oh, my mom did this, or this is what I learned in school. She's like, I'm trying to find a way to kill. She's 12. I'm trying to find a way to kill this man who keep hitting my mom.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was a wake-up call.
Wow.
Right? So whose fault is it really? Yeah, he's wrong. He's wrong for what he did. But whose fault is it really? Did my child really have to be in that situation? Did I really have to open the door for her to see that? So now she's like really this tough girl. You know, I told y'all she's the mom. But who taught her to be tough? Right? Sometimes I even be like, girl, you emasculating that man. He gonna leave you. She's like, no, I'm just like that. And I think back, though, I told her to be tough.
Right.
Right? That's what she saw.
Right.
She saw her mom getting her butt whooped, right? So she
Right.
had to make sure that's never going to be me.
Right.
Right? So we don't realize what we do to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's deep.
Very deep.
That's
I can
very
go on
deep.
about that one, but I
Yeah.
got to give them some time to
Yeah, I'm
talk.
finna get. Let me shoot over here to Tawanda.
Let me go ahead and get into it. My leg, wow.
Let me go ahead to
As a
Tawanda.
radio show host, it's easy to kind of take
Yeah.
over, right? Like, I'm just...
I know
Yeah.
you're a radio show.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Let me get over here to Tawanda. Tawanda, what's been your biggest challenge?
My biggest.
Now, you should have been ready for this question.
Well, I think the biggest one is basically just my growing up in poverty. That's been the biggest thing. It
Okay.
really, it's molded me, shaped me to not want to be there anymore.
Right.
So that's been the biggest thing for me. because I've been the mom that had to go to sleep without something to eat, but the kids had something to eat. And then there were days I didn't know where we were going to get food from. So I've been there, even with my entire family staying in one home. It was hard. It was hard, and it really broke me down. And when I got older, I kind of learned that crying was okay. So that's how I came up with Weeping Courage, because I would cry, but I had the courage to keep going.
Absolutely.
I never gave up.
And so going through that whole thing, because you be trying, you tiptoeing. You tiptoe around.
She's that humble.
She tiptoe.
She's very humble.
But because that's a very hard situation to go through. I mean, I've been there myself. So when you go through stuff like that, and because you said poverty was one of your, and that's like one of the number one things that people deal with now. You know, especially with the president. But we ain't finna get into that. So, but going through poverty and dealing and having children and have them look at you, you know, because you're their savior. You're the one that they looking for to save them through that. How did that make you feel?
There has been times when I felt like I couldn't do anything for them. Like, I felt helpless. And then I would shut down. And that means I'm going to shut down in my room. It's going to be black dark, and I go into a depression mode. Because right now, it's like when I was in that position, it's like I couldn't help them. I felt helpless. There was nobody to reach out to, because everybody was reaching out to me. But who can I reach out to? So I never let them see me cry. I never let them see me be down. And I always came out of it with a solution to the problem. Right. It may have taken me a few hours in the day, but I figured it out. We're going to do this, that, and the other. And I will tell you, I was the biggest queen of overdrafting an account when it came to going to the grocery store. If I had to, I went and did it. And I just let that check go back into that account. And if I needed to do it again, I did it again. But I only did it for like food and bills. Right. So I've been there. I know what the struggle is like. Right. And there's a lot of people that do not tell that part of the struggle.
Right.
Everybody makes it look all peaches and cream and I'm on top and this, that, and the other. No, we're struggling. And this is what we're going to do about it. Right. So sometimes I had to take a nap. I had to get in that closet and I had to pray. God, I know you said that you would never leave me. Absolutely. And he brought me through every time. And so now my daughter, if she sees me and I look uneasy to her, she's like, Mom, God made everything. Maybe you should go in your closet and pray. So she keeps me going.
So you got the little war room going on.
Right. I do. I do.
Okay. I like that. That's what's up. So, and now, you know, your kids. Now, how old are your kids?
I have a 17-year-old. He'll be 18 next month.
You got a 17-year-old?
17-year-old.
Okay.
Wow. And then a 15-year-old.
Well, I tell you, that don't crack.
Not at all.
And then my daughter, she's 8.
Wow.
So you got 17-year-old.
15-year-old
and 8-year-old.
Yes, and then on top of that, I have my 19-year-old nephew that lives with me. He's been there with me for like 3 years.
So basically, you have 4 kids.
4 kids, yeah.
And now, from being where you were before, how do they look at things now? Are they more, you know, have that made them more, you know?
They're better.
Right.
They're
efficient
better.
And
Yes. I can see that they have dreams and goals. As before, it was like nothing. So when, like, my baby boy, when we came here, he couldn't read a lick. He didn't want to try, you know, and I'm a strong reader. I read all the time, and I couldn't help him. But when he got here, the environment changed, and it changed him, and it made him want to do something. My oldest son, he was running down like he was in the street. Oh, wow. But now he's starting to see more, and he's starting to see why I took him from where I took him from. I wanted him to see that there was more to life and that there was bigger things and people doing bigger things. Right. Instead of us sitting in a small town and everybody's fighting, shooting, and doing things. Nobody's working, and this is what you see. So that's why I uprooted myself, because it was kind of heartbreaking to me to see that every day. I get up and go to work, but when I come home, everybody's sitting around doing the same old thing. And it got to me, and I was like, I cannot live like this. I cannot do this. I'm going to take my children, let them see the bigger things, and that there's more to Tuskegee than this. And now everybody's doing something. My son, a lot of times I don't approve of his rap, but this is how he pours out what he's been through. So he's rapping what he's been through. I'm writing what I've been through. My daughter, she expresses herself through dancing.
Wow.
So everybody's doing something.
Right. That's amazing. That's amazing.
You shouldn't be so shy. You got a lot to talk about.
I know, like we got going, like we got a lot.
Once you get going, though.
You speaking a lot of good stuff over there, man. And I knew it. I knew it. Deidre, what's been your biggest challenge?
My biggest challenge has been Deidre, to be honest.
I can understand that.
Yeah, stop it. Stop it right now. Anyway. Moving on, people.
Now, he didn't tell me no stories about that.
That's what you're talking about. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to everything he say. But honestly, it has been my children, like I've imagined I even have close friends that probably, if they're listening right now, would be like, amen to that. If I didn't have my children, I would be just swimming around in this world like la 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 la.
Let's keep swimming. Keep swimming.
Just a wanderer.
Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? I mean, that's just, you know. So they definitely brought balance for me. You know, and I absolutely needed them completely in every aspect. Because they also birthed some things within myself that I didn't even know that I had. My grandparents and my mom, you know, they raised me, and I had a great childhood. I can't, you know, make up any stories or anything with that. I had an awesome childhood, but I had a disconnect with my parents. And with that, I didn't understand going into adulthood why I was attracting the wrong type of dude. It was like, I had a great childhood. Like, what, you know, my grandparents was like, you know, it was amazing. So I had to go sit on somebody's couch and figure it out. And, you know, one of the first things that he said to me was that, you know, when a man and a woman creates a child and they create this seed together, you know, you have to have some association with that. With your mom and your dad. And if you don't, you have a dysfunction, like, period. So with that gave me the steps to be able to go, you know, did I keep making mistakes? Absolutely. Did I keep, you know, I felt like the wrong type of people or attracting the wrong type of guy? Yes. But even through that, I was able to, you know, I remember sitting and I think we talked about this before too. I was sitting one time, I had lost my job. My grandfather had just passed away. Just found out I was pregnant with my daughter. And actually it came to me in a dream. My grandfather had just passed away. So he was, in the dream, he was coming down from heaven and gave me this big pink ball and then just walked back up. And so I was like, oh boy, here we go. Right, like, not again. Because at that time I just had my 3 boys. So lost my job. My grandfather was like, I can't even describe the type of man. Like, there is no other man. When God made him, that's it. You know, like, when I say he is pure perfection, there is nobody in this world that can ever steer me from what a man, he showed me what a man was supposed to be. So when he passed away, it took a part of my life. Absolutely. And then I lost my job, went through a relationship to where, you know, I'm like, you got to go your own way. This is not going to work. And that's with 3 of my kids, with him. And at that point I was like, okay, if I don't wake up in the morning, I'll be okay. I've never been suicidal, never thought about the idea of trying to do anything to myself, but because I was so overwhelmed and I felt like, you know, and I was speaking of darkness in the living room, as a matter of fact, and I slid down the wall and I was like, you know, enough is enough. And that night before, I had just had a conversation with my kids, and all of these things, when you're in your thoughts, all of these things just flash before you. And I had just had a conversation with my boys at the table and telling them we're gonna be very wealthy one day. Some things that we're gonna do, and so they were like, yeah, they all kidding. I know, I'm like, serious. No, listen, I made this big taco dinner. I'm like, listen, it's gonna be boom, 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 boom. You're gonna do this, this, and this. It was a full impartation at that table. And so the next night when I got to that place, that came to me, and then it was a lady that called me, which is my son's great aunt, Miss Aretha. She called me and she was like, hey girl, what's going on? And I was like, I'm not good. So God sent her to be able to bring me back as an angel and just put some things back into me that had been depleted. Absolutely. And so at that moment, I was so drained. I went to bed. I got up and I said, no more. Like, that's it. I'm not. That's it. There's no reason for me to ever have to be in this place again.
Right.
There's no reason that I'm ever going to, it was just, all I was doing was declaring, nope, 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 nope.
That's right.
And I never turned back. That was it. So I kept moving. I kept pressing. I kept going. And my children watched it. And to see the fruits, and to see their admiration in their eyes, even though the pains and the hurts of the disconnect with, their dad or whatever the scenario may be, to just know that, and I can look at them and I can see it, it means something. It just means something. So I couldn't have done a lot of this stuff without them. They made me, they made me.
Amen.
Period.
I agree with that one. Kept
Wow.
it straight.
They did.
And I think a lot of times children, people, they have kids, and I always say, and I tell people this all the time, because people are like, man, you started all over, because my oldest son is 25. Well, he'll be 25 in July. And then I have a 6-year-old and a 2-year-old. So people are like, man, you started all over again. But the thing about it is, my kids kind of, they be like, you don't be stressed out. I'm like, no, my kids keep me sane.
That's right.
So they keep me sane. Like,
blessing.
literally, they keep me sane, because at the end of the day, when the world is just driving you crazy, and my little girl look up at me one day, and that is to everything else goes out the window.
Even when they upset you. Even when they upset me, they say, if I'm stressed, it ain't the children.
Yeah. And it's just something about, I got this responsibility here. Like, I can't stop. I got to take care of my kids. I got to do this. I got to do that. Like you said, if I didn't have kids, man, I'll be
loose cannon.
I'll be all over the place.
All over the place. Amen to that.
There'll be no radio show.
Hey, look here.
That's right.
Hold on.
Tell
This ain't gonna be no woman battle. This ain't gonna be no team up over here. Have a radio show. I'm gonna have to get Mr. Oliver up here. What?
That's right, Mr. Oliver.
He was like, no, I don't want no part of that. Okay.
With that.
Man, you always, you. Okay.
He said, you by yourself. You out here by yourself in the streets.
Yep.
But I understand that, because and it means a lot, for me when I have my daughter. Like, inside, I tell you, man, I love my kids to death. So, and it's something about the girl. You know what I'm saying?
I think
that's
every
why
guy should have a girl.
Man,
they do something too.
I don't understand any man who don't take care of their kids. I just don't get it. You got a whole person that's a part of you. They got features of yours. They got pieces of you. You know what I'm saying? They are a part of you. How can you just go along your day, act like they don't exist? Like, I just can't see it. It blows my mind that men are that way. And I know some women like that too.
Yeah, very. Yeah,
I know some women like that too. But talking about the men, I just don't understand that. And so when I see my daughter, I just can't, or my son, I just can't imagine not being in there. I can't imagine not being there. So now I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to make sure I eat right. I'm trying to do everything right so I can stay here as long as I can. You know what I mean? To be with my kids. Because I want to see my daughter get married one day and beat up the guy. You know, I've always wanted to play that bad boy role. It's going to happen. I'm going to call it Darian. Hey, you get the shotgun. I got the gun. We're going to play around back like I'm out of jail. What's up?
Like Bad Boys, like Will Smith.
I've been dying to do that role. So when I got a daughter, that was the first thing went through my mouth. Like, yeah, finally.
No, that wasn't the first thing. You were like, oh.
Yeah. And then I said, yeah. But I just love my kids, and I just don't get it. You know what I mean? So, but then, you know, I know that, and I always say this, I'm like, well, why waste your time? Why involve yourself? Why not do what it takes to not bring a child in the world? That's not something you want to take care of.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And I have really just one experience with that. My oldest dad has always been there in his life. It was just our disconnect. We were young, upset with each other, is whatever. We're like super cool now. But my daughter, with him, we have, like, I've always wanted the best, like, you know, of course I'm not married, but the best co-parenting situation I could possibly have. And it's been amazing, like, absolutely amazing. And even though Kennedy is his, he still does for all of them, because when we were together, you know, of course, that was the role. So he just continued that. So yeah, it's just great to be able to have a co-parenting relationship. Because that's, you know, I think that's the desire of, if you have to not be in a relationship or be married, that is the desire of most. Right?
Well, that's what you're teaching.
That's the intention, right?
Yeah.
You want to find that one person you can spend the rest of your life with, that y'all get each other, y'all vibe. You know, everything is good. Y'all can travel, see the way. You know, the little picket, the white picket fence thing. You know, everybody had that dream before.
Yes.
You know, and it's a hard
Do we
road.
have an example?
Do we have an example?
Did we have an example?
That's the.
So why do we want it?
Huh?
Right. That's a good
Because
point.
society said that's what you're supposed to want.
Why? Because of Walt Disney? Why? Where?
No, because
Because they didn't have any mothers.
No,
Walt
because of the Cosby Show.
Every Disney movie does not have mothers. Like no one never even asked where the mothers are.
Right.
That's true.
All fathers. All fathers. Not one Disney princess. Okay, and then the one that did, Tiana, the only black princess, her father died.
That's a great point.
And the mother just came around just to come around. Hey, how you doing? Okay, bye.
Right.
So why did we want it? Where did we get that fairy tale from? Because, I mean, we don't live in a fairy tale.
Right.
It was a lot harder than a fairy tale. Like, it was a picture or a movie that was not even being shown to us, because you grow up and you have what you have and you have to figure it out.
Figure it out.
How do you figure it out?
Right.
So I'm honored to be sitting in front of these three women right now. Because now I know why I'm here. Now I know why every step of the way today, everything blocked for me to be here. I commend all of you guys, because it's not easy. It's not easy. And for them to speak on their story.
Yeah.
And I hope everyone is listening. If not, you better press rewind and get your daughter, get your son, sit back and listen to these women. Because when I tell you, you tell your stories and you wear it in your truth, in the way that they do that. Now that's bold. Now that's like black excellence.
Right.
That can't be taught. And for them to speak on their story to that degree, that's amazing. Because that's not easy.
Nope.
That's not easy at all.
Yeah.
That's inspirational to me. Because I think I'm just in the beginning.
So what's been your biggest challenge, Si?
To do what they just did.
Right.
after accepting it. Because everyone can look at me and say, oh, she has a husband. She has a daughter. Oh, that's exactly what I want. And, oh, she's so cute. She's pretty. No. Because why? The same thing we said in the beginning. We don't always say exactly what we're going through.
That's right.
And I guess you can say I was a runner. I was running from me the whole time. So yeah, I might have gotten a husband. I might have gotten all that because my heart has always been in the right place. But I never connected. I left before anybody else could leave. I isolated myself because I didn't know where I fit in. Not even to the point that I've never had strong women in my life. Not one. Not even the one that birthed me. Not one. The people along the way that has helped me, that I can say, has helped me through the challenge, because see, my challenge just came last year.
Right.
And that's because I stopped running. And the only reason I stopped running is because my husband helped me to finally quiet down the noise.
Right.
And stop helping everybody else. What's really going on?
Right.
I didn't even know. And when you're running away from the trauma that you have to heal, but you don't even know? Because, hey, from the outside in, I got everything, though, don't I? Like, right? There's no trauma. And never speak on it because I've always poured into everyone else. I made that my mission because I felt that my story or my upbringing, everything that I went through was just too much. Was so much that I didn't even want to repeat it. You know, when they say, like, you know, anything negative, like, don't repeat it because you're going to call it back to you. The universe is going to bring it back to you. No. So I poured into everyone else, and I was that social butterfly and the happy one. But no one saw when I turned the lights off, I would go.
But you was not being poured into.
No. And then no one ever asked why, because those people that I was pouring into were just taking, and that was okay, and that was the point. You know, so sometimes when you are meeting people throughout your life that you don't have boundaries, or you don't know, or you didn't get the things that you needed to get from adults that were supposed to be, you know, there for you, and you have no one to turn to, you kind of just go. I didn't have those tools, so I shut down. I did the complete reverse. So I was happy, I was this, but I was happy for you. So when I applaud, I completely applauded because that I took part of that happiness. And that kind of became my memory. So I shared memories of everyone else's greatness. And that's why when you asked me that question, like, oh no, what else do you do? What did I say I do? Well, it's just for my friends because, see, I've learned all these things so then I can help and I can use. They don't have to go nowhere and pay somebody else. Like, you know, they know I got them. So where do I go?
I want to say that you've actually just elevated yourself within this particular conversation, because you said it was hard for you to just share your story, right? And I'm going to tell you something about transparency. Transparency elevates you. Because you bottle all this stuff up inside. You know, I can go down the list of all of the different things I've been through, cancer, domestic. I can say all of that. And for a very long time, I was ashamed. I can go back to saying I didn't share the cancer because I was ashamed, right? And bottled it all up inside. And I'm smiling, and everyone says, oh, that's a happy person right there. And inside, I'm crumbling because I know I'm sick as HELL hockey sticks, you know. So, but once I accepted that shame, I owned who I was and what happened to me. Now I can be transparent about it. And every time I'm transparent about my story, I'm elevated another notch. And that's what you just did. Because you talked about how hard it was for you to just share. You just couldn't see that. But let me say this, don't feel so bad about the things that you do for others, because whether people understand it or not, and those of you who are searching for your purpose, that is your purpose. We are here to help others. That's our purpose. That's why Jesus came. That's why we are here. And we somehow miss that. The journey you're supposed to be on is the journey to find what your gift is to help you fulfill that purpose. Right? And that's what you're doing. So don't ever feel bad about that. And I've given too much. What you have to do is find someone who will pour back into you the things that you have poured out. That's where you messed up. That's where you go wrong. So look in the mirror. You have your husband. You may have your.
It actually came full circle because these people that I ran from that I poured into, so I should have like a whole squad of people. You know what I mean? Like I had all the friends, right?
Right.
No, because I only they only came in so far.
Yes.
And that's it. And then
and then you cut them off.
Exactly. So now when I finally accepted that this is what I did, I went back to every single person that I did that to.
Yeah, because somebody could have wanted to, but you didn't let them.
All of them are here now today because I have went back to every single person. Every single person, they said, well, we have never left. They've always checked up on me. Yeah. They've always somehow
that's right.
The universe lined them up right back in. And I'm sitting here like, oh, but I knew what I needed to do.
That's right.
Because now I'm here. Let me not just talk about it. I'm going to show you.
Yeah.
And that's where I've been operating. And when I tell you, it's so humbling because it's a mutual thing.
That's right.
I've never allowed them to do for me.
Yes.
I never asked.
Yes.
So I didn't know whether they were for me or not. I just poured in and that was enough because it's a connection that I felt. You know what I mean? Like when I felt like it was
something that you was feeding to yourself though. Ooh. It was that was your own. That was your own.
Yeah. And I didn't want to give it to nobody else because see, that's the thing. I never had anything.
Right.
I'm the oldest of 9. I became mom at a young age, meaning I took care of my sisters and brothers, and I was okay with that. I'm okay with all of the things that I went through because, like y'all, I can go down the list, but that doesn't help anything because at the end of the day, it's like, oh yeah, girl, I went through that too. Yeah. No, because that takes away from it.
That's right.
Right? Because it's like, okay. And then you feel like, well, I guess I got everybody else's story.
That's
so
right.
I don't want to hear my story. Let me help. But as I was giving advice, I was in here like, dang, I need to say this to myself too. Yeah. Because something happened in my heart when I connect with people that don't know kind of what to do. And I tell them it's something that comes out of me when I'm around you. So it's not something that I'm thinking like, okay, today I'm going to meet somebody. No. If I feel you, if I see you hurting, I go to those people. It's like they call me. My heart calls me to them. And then the gates just flood open. And I tell them everything. And I'm like, damn, where the hell did I get that from?
Right.
And I go back home and I write. And I write everything. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I need to be doing. Straight up. Even till today. 2012. I posted a note and it says, stop running away from your trauma. Well, I was still running 2012. It's 2019 now.
Right.
But the same post camp comes up at the same date about running. Whoa. I said, okay, I gotta go.
Gotta look in the mirror and stop running.
Sometimes it takes a long time.
It does.
And that's the thing. When they say you gotta know who you are. Everyone just says so much, but they don't teach us how. Exactly. Like, you gotta look at this thing and then just stick with that and you'll be great. No, because it's so much more than that. Yeah. Because that's where the purpose, like you said.
Right.
One thing I want to say, because you mentioned getting some help, going to therapy and stuff. One thing I do know about black people, they not want to get help.
She need a trophy for that.
You know what I mean? They don't want to get help, and it's so important because there's a lot of things that we go through. Whether it's family related, job related. We lose a job. We have children that some of them are difficult. We have it's so many different things, but us. As black, we feel like we're weak if we go to ask somebody to help us, and it's nothing wrong with going to get help.
I wanted to ask teacher, how did you feel as a parent going to see a therapist?
Actually, it was all about me. I wasn't even thinking about, the after effects after what I gained from going there, of course, affected my parenthood and how I raised my children. But I went there for me because I needed a healing. I needed, and I've grown up like all through church, ministers everywhere, all through it. And you know, I'm a big big on not being, you know, religious. Yeah. Because, you know, it's like, okay, well, you know, you have to go to church on Sunday. You have to do, and I go to church every Sunday. Don't get me wrong now. Hello? Listen, I'm still going to church on Sunday. But, you know, it's just relationship is important to me. Mm-hmm. And so when I steered away from what you're supposed to do and what you're supposed to look like and how you're supposed to act because you're, you know, a Christian and you're this and this. Then I learned and I got into my word. I got into a full relationship, war room as well. Because I can't communicate to him and not be able to hear him as well.
That's good.
So with that being said, you know, I knew not only spiritually, but I needed something, you know, tangible, someone that I can speak with, because I'm always that person too, where people come to me all the time and I'm providing solutions, but you know, nobody's providing a solution for me.
And I asked, so you had no questions like, I need to see a therapist. You didn't play with it in your head or anything like that?
Well, I mean,
what people gonna think?
The trigger for me is I kept attracting the wrong dude, and I didn't understand it because I had a phenomenal man, like no other in my face, my grandfather. So I didn't get it. So, you know, with that particular relationship, that was like, okay, now something's wrong with me, clearly.
Right.
I need to go.
When you went, did you learn more about yourself, and were you able to change your circumstances?
Oh, absolutely. I learned a lot. And then I was able to apply what I've been taught already with what I learned from the therapy. So, I mean, you know, I'll go to therapy with nothing going on. I'll go to therapy because I just like to talk. Hey, look, let me tell you what happened. What you think? What you think about that? What you think? All right, thank you. Because I like different perspectives. You know, I'm looking at something this specific way, and it may be not necessarily the wrong way, but that was just my perspective versus what, say, Wardell maybe, you know, thinking. And if I talk to someone that's mutual, that can help me understand these paths and these ways, I mean, I don't know why people don't want to go to therapy, people.
Right, exactly.
I've definitely been in therapy before, so I think it's a great thing to do.
But no, everyone who says that don't go to therapy don't even know what therapy is,
right?
Or what's
that's
going
why I
on.
say they make it feel like they're weak,
right,
or they're missing something, right? You know, and it's not that. You know, sometimes you just need help to get through.
That's right.
Certain things, whatever circumstances is, because you know, my oldest son, you know, I had to go to therapy. You know, my oldest son, I raised him on my own since he was 5. I raised him by myself, and he decided to take on the gay lifestyle. Messed my head up. So I had to go get help, you know what I mean? I had to go talk about that thing. And because I'm a man's man, I'm just like, hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But hey, that's his thing. You know, he and to this day I still have some issues with it. But I mean, that's the decision, man. I still love him. He's still my son. And I told him, I said, listen, while he would live with me, I said, look, you my son, I love you. Do whatever you do outside this house. It's your business.
Right.
I said, I just can't deal with it here. And I don't have nothing against the gay society and everything. You know what I'm saying? I just want to make that clear. But it was, as a straight man, it just took me to a different, you know, I just didn't get it. You know, so it, you know, that's a part of me I don't even really talk about. So I'm talking about the show, but I never really talk about that.
I'm telling you, it's a move.
You know, I never really talk about that.
Power.
It was something that definitely
this
affected
room
me.
right now.
Y'all ain't got no.
Everybody's getting a step forward.
That's right. They moving.
That's what it was. I felt like it was something I did.
Yeah.
I felt like it was something I did wrong. I felt like it was something. I'm just like, where did I go wrong at? You know, I just kept blaming myself. And my mom was even like, Wardell, it wasn't you. Listen, it was not you. And I remember going to the therapist, and the therapist said, well, what kind of man is he attracted to? I said, I don't even want to talk about this. She said, I bet. She said, I bet he's a tall, muscular type of guy. I said, how you know? Because it was
It's you.
And she said, "You're what he know." You know, and I thought about that. I said, "Man, this is kind of scary," but it was real. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I got a better understanding. Still love my son to death. He's in the military doing his thing.
All right.
In the Army.
In the Army. All right. Okay. I'm good with the Army.
You know what I mean?
But it takes a lot of person to accept what they're going through to say, because I mean, why didn't you go through your circle of friends or or someone?
You know what? I didn't want an opinion based off of what they saw on TV or what they went through in their own. I just needed some professional guidance. You know what I'm saying? For somebody who wasn't biased about, because there's so many people that went through so many different things and they base everything off of what they went through. You know, well, whatever you went through don't mean I'm going through the same thing and my situation is the same.
Right.
So I needed somebody who wasn't biased about
Outside
it. Right. And I got what I needed. I went for a while, and I felt better about myself. You know what I'm saying? Because I surely thought I did something wrong. But I felt better about myself and everything, and I moved on, and we have a good relationship now. Because, you know, I just felt like I failed him some kind of way. You know, and it was just eating me up. It ate me up, and I couldn't rest with it. You know, but you know, and that's why I say, you know, that's a very transparent piece, y'all. Like right there, that's a very transparent piece. But you know, and then later, and then I also noticed that I never had a father coming up, so being affectionate with another man wasn't my thing. Makes me very uncomfortable to even hug a guy. Like, hey man, what's up? Like, hey, you die. You know what I'm saying? But I have a 6-year-old son. I said, Lord, you messing with me. Because you want me to fix that thing. So I'm going to fix it. I'm going to fix it.
Right.
You know? So now I got a 6-year-old son. Every time I get, I just hug on him. Just hug on him as much as I can. Just hug on him and just love him to death. And I'm like, I'm going to beat this thing. Like, that's just my mindset, you know? And it makes me feel a lot better,
Absolutely.
You know? And he just loves coming around and he loves to sit up on me and lay on me and cuddle. And I'm just like, man.
You can do it. You're doing it, Wardell.
You're still working through it.
We rooting for you.
No.
That's the thing. Like
no, you're good. You're good.
It's such it seemed like a small thing, but it's so big. You know what I mean? And it makes a difference in how I feel about myself. You know what I mean? Because I'm always trying to grow.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm always trying to outdo the things that I couldn't do before. You know, try to beat those things.
Oh yeah, that girl teaching you, because look, she's growing.
Oh yeah.
Demanding, like, look, daddy.
Yeah. My daughter,
Yeah, look, he gonna say nothing about her. Like,
we're gonna stop right there.
well,
with that girl.
I went to the wrong therapist. That was my thing. I went that route too, and you know what? Walked right out. I'm like, I'm gonna just do this myself.
Really?
Because see, not everybody will be there to help you. You know, so it's like, it's great when you have those people that you can, but when you go to therapy, I was like, oh, okay, this is different. So ask questions, and I'm an actress, so then I'm like, okay, let me test this little woman real quick. So I was saying, she's looking at me like, oh, how could anything be wrong with you? You're fine, this and that. And I'm sitting here like, yeah, you know what? I am. Oh my goodness, I feel so great. Thank you. Walk right out of there, and I'm like, no, because anytime we go to our friends, what ends up happening if we give them what we kind of need to try to understand? They don't know. We don't really know what they've been through, and they start talking about themselves. So it's just like, oh, dang.
Right.
You know, and then now that's part of the relationship. So maybe you got over it, you fixed it. Then they're like, hey, girl, so what happened the other day? You didn't finish your story.
Right.
You're like, too late.
You know, and exactly. And what does that do?
I'll be like, don't worry
You
about
see
it.
what I'm saying? Therapy,
Right.
you sit there and you talk, and nobody else's opinion comes in. They just let you talk. And that's the greatest thing. See, so therapy, when we say go to therapy, because see, that's the thing. finally when I understood, because I didn't have the connection to friendship.
Right.
You see? So when I went to a professional, I got the reverse understanding of it. But when I went to my tribe, the people, I'm like, oh, this is a conversation. Because they listen. They listen, and that's it. And that's what my husband is. Just listen. He doesn't put his opinion. He lets me just do it. And I come back and be like, okay, so what do you think? Never gives me his opinion. What do you think, babe? Well, he's a darn psychologist major. So I'm like, that is why we...
He sure is.
So you do have a therapist.
Didn't I tell you everything changed when I met that man? Boy,
So
I'm
you
like...
do. So you do have one.
And as moms, we have to have a
Outlet.
train of therapy, like not just talk. Like for me, I can, of course, with everything that I'm juggling with work, regular everyday corporate America, then my new business I have, the kids always. I can go over and my cup overflows, right? So my spot is Jeju. I'll go there to just kind of because if I don't, then I'm not productive at all. Right. So it's very important for moms, and I'm also getting ready to write, which will be Don't Call Me a Single Mother as well, book with that added to it, because you have to take time for you. Yeah. I remember my son was only 2 years old, and I was in the grocery store one day. Just walk in, whatever. I must have looked real rough or something. But this lady stopped me and she said, and it was out of the blue, just came down the aisle. And I know she was an angel just for me. And she came down and she said, there's nothing that you can do for anybody else until you do something for you. You have to take care of yourself.
That's good.
And this lady just vanished, just went away. So I'm in the middle of the aisle like, where is she? Oh my God. So until I build up to, where I am today, at that time, I was struggling. I didn't have any. So what I did is, okay, well, this week when I get paid, I'm buying myself a piece of cheesecake.
That's right.
Because I want this cheesecake.
Absolutely.
I can afford this cheesecake. I'm going to buy this cheesecake. Then when I went from level to level and escalated to where I can afford, certain or higher things that I wanted, then it was, okay, well, I'm going here. No, I'm going to Miami, or I'm going, whatever the scenario may be. But you have to take time as a mother for yourself.
Got to.
Because you have to decompress.
But we felt so bad to even take it, though.
I did. But now.
No, I did too.
Let me tell you. Now I'll be like, where y'all going? What y'all doing this weekend? Y'all set up? All right, let's go.
And that's a hard lesson for mothers to learn, that we can't pour from an empty cup. And that's basically what it is. We're such nurturers, and we want to be great parents, but when we don't pour into ourselves, we have really nothing to give them, and we think we're doing all right by having the kids eat and we not eat, and we think we're doing all right by robbing Peter to pay Paul. But getting yourself together would be even better, because then you don't have to rob Peter to pay Paul. You don't have everybody's eating. So what she says makes a lot of sense. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and that's what we were doing when we were going through those struggles, because half the time we don't even know that's what we're doing. That's what we're just operating.
Another thing is, and what's been my prayer is to God, is don't allow me to get so busy to where I can't hear the matters of my kids' heart.
Amen.
Yes.
And if I'm so consumed, and so I can't, when I come home and I'm just all razzled, and they're just like, I'm like, hey Jordan, okay, I'm going. That's one. And he may be in a state of mind to where I can't even, because I'm so frazzled, I can't do anything or see what's going on within him. So it is very important to be able to.
Well, on that note, guys, we're almost at the end of the show.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Let me tell you. Where are all these women? Okay, because see, we're all doing our work separate. You know what I mean? Like every time that I'm surrounded by like strong women, I'm like, where are y'all at? Like seriously, because everybody always says, "Oh no, we got you." Those voices, right? But
you got already, 3 new ones, right?
You already
we finna exchange.
But you have had so many different amazing women. Like we need a roster. Like everybody, like you know what I mean. We need to start like a group. You know what I mean? Because it's like we need to all pour into each other. Because sometimes we do just need like okay, it's gonna be all right. No,
This is-
just go.
This is the
I'm
truth.
listening.
This is the truth. No man is absolutely successful without a powerful woman with behind him.
Oh, say that again, Wardell.
And
more time.
I'm just being real.
That's
I'm gonna
right.
make a meme out of
Now.
you saying that.
Now, the reason I say
Shout out to
I saw,
Wardell's mama.
I saw,
Beautiful self. I love her.
you saw,
That's,
Penny always
that's,
talk about my mama too.
that's your foundation.
My
right there.
listen,
Woo.
this is the thing. You know, as a man, we can do a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? We're supposed to be the provider. We're supposed to be the cultivator. We're supposed to be the protector. We're supposed to be all these different things. But we are not truly successful, and we can't truly navigate those things without a powerful woman to push us and get us there. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, well,
That's
that
the
was
design.
that is
design.
how it was designed.
And that's the
What's
way
the
it
purpose
is.
of the reel?
That's why it's so important. That's why it's so important. Like every woman that I brought on the show, I specifically looked through them. You know what I'm saying? And I see what I see, and I'm like, okay, this gonna work because women are unique. You're very unique in your own way. You gain this. You know, because back from there are times. So I'm thinking a lot of things at one time. That's why I'm going all over the place. But basically, what I'm trying to say is, women, yeah, you're strong. You know, so that's why women are the ones who are the childbearers. That's why women are the ones that are the nurturers. You know what I'm saying? You could be sick and still nurture. You could, you know what I mean? Like that's the way God designed it because He knew that women could handle all of that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know I get sick. I be like, oh, somebody, Miss Oliver the same way.
He keep telling you don't put him in your mess. You just keep on.
You know what I'm saying? But you know, women, y'all go through that because you know it's y'all go through childbearing. Y'all go through the most powerful, most intimate things. You know, and you come out on top. You know what I'm saying? And that just builds your strength to be that provider because you provide for the men. You know what I'm saying? You provide that cultivating for us. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I appreciate all of you.
We appreciate
You know
you
what I
too.
mean?
Stop holding out. We need a roster. Get everybody's name and number because you know
before we
them.
go-
Like, where's your cell phone? Huh? Come on.
Before we go, I want each of you to give just one bit, one note, one gift to somebody.
Start down there, please.
Deidre.
One gift or one
nugget.
One nugget is love yourself.
Yeah.
Simple. Just love yourself.
Tawanda.
What I would say is that
You've been real quiet. Like this woman right here.
just
I'm gonna tell you why you so unique.
Why?
You process things, and when you speak, it's very powerful. But you be holding that junk, girl. You better start letting that stuff out because you said a lot of great stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I see you. You know what I'm saying? I see how you thinking. I see how you moving. You shies on it because I can tell you just be sitting there, just be looking, and then when you start talking, you be like, "What in the world? You got all that up in there." Girl, you better start talking.
I got a lot.
So, thank you for everything you said today. And what's your nugget?
So basically, I want to say this: Women on the Rise has actually blessed me to have women around me that's been through many different things that I've never experienced, and some they have. You know, some things I have. You know, but we come from every aspect, and no matter where you come from, sometimes you just gotta, put your foot down, take off, use your platform, and you gotta run. So it's not where you started, it's where you finish. So always make room to level up. Always want to level up. Always want to go to the next level.
See what I'm talking about?
I know. I forgot what I was gonna
That's what I'm talking about right there.
Go on, girl.
All right then,
Amazing. She is
Stacy.
amazing.
Now I saved you because you said go to them
Why?
first.
Just because I talk to you.
No,
That's
not
why.
all.
I can't help it. I'm a true coach. But own it. Look in the mirror and own it. I don't care how hard it is, how shameful it is, how much it hurt, how painful it is, what you think other people will think. They don't matter no way. Own it. And then move on.
That little thing right there is powerful enough. Own it.
Own it.
A lot of people. What you got, Si?
Don't be like everyone else and wear the mask. Take it off.
Take it off.
Because everybody's wearing it. Everybody's wearing the happy face. Everyone is wearing, at the time that you're seeing them, that's what they want you to see. Don't be like them.
Gotta live your truth.
That's it.
And on that note, well, let me go on and say something. Because somebody will be like, Wardell, what about you?
Yeah.
I always say this. Trust God, number one. And secondly, believe in yourself. Because no one can believe in you more than you can believe in yourself. And whatever you put into yourself, and other people will see it and gravitate to it.
Absolutely.
So you are who you are. You know, and it's like the old saying, you are what you eat. What you put out, just like you said earlier, what you put out is what you're going to receive.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So believe in yourself and just be humble and good to people. Like,
Right.
It's so many people that be hating and mad and frustrated at other people because of their success. Instead of you just saying, hey, can you help me? You know what I'm saying? I love to help people. You know, if you ask me, I'll help you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I can't do anything if you just gonna sit there and hate on me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'm glad you're hating on me. That let me know I'm doing something right. You know?
Hush truth.
I always say you're not doing what you're doing if ain't nobody hating on you.
That's right. That's right.
Because haters don't hate on people that aren't doing anything.
Hush truth.
They have nothing to hate.
He finna make me dance up in here.
And that's just the truth.
Oh, mic drop.
I know,
That's
right?
just the truth. A hater can't hate anything that's not going anywhere. They like to hate things that are going places. They like to talk about you. They like to try to bring you down. They want everybody else to bring you down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like, thank you. Because you just gave me a new fan base.
I know that's right.
Because them people going to try to find out who I am.
Yep.
TMZ.
Yep.
You know what I
It's
mean?
like ATL TMZ. Oh, we're banging on.
Oh, we need you to hold your books up too.
I just want to have a book.
And talk about your books and where we can get your books.
Yes.
Okay. Well, all of them you can get from Amazon.com. Just
Hey.
put my name in. But What It Takes to Win, I did a collaboration book with the Brian Tracy.
Hold it up into this camera right here.
This one. It's right there. So it's What It Takes to Win. And as I said,
Wow.
am I doing the right thing?
You know,
You can get it at Amazon.com. And then this is one of my favorites, the 30-day devotional for the Melanin Entrepreneur. And you can get that at StacyBryant.com or Amazon.com. And it's a devotional journey that I wrote for melanated entrepreneurs to help them increase their walk with God while they're applying the spiritual principles to their life and their business at the same time. So.
okay.
And then I brought another one, Her Story Too. This is a collaboration book I wrote with other domestic violence survivors, sharing their story of survivorship. So it's a pretty deep one. It's a tearjerker. So.
Wow.
That's amazing.
So make sure y'all check that out at StacyBryant.com or Amazon.com. You can check out any of those books.
Yeah.
Support these ladies.
Absolutely.
Make sure you go and check out Cupcakes and Coffee.
Yeah.
Heard y'all, I went over there. That place is slamming. That's her. Y'all know me. Y'all know I be talking to her. There you go. I be talking to her about.
Paint sip.
But yeah, she's got a great place. Hey, date night. Just want to hang out. Just want to paint. Just want to get a little alcohol and eat a little cupcake or whatever. Right. She got it right there. Right, it's a really nice, great place to go to. It's very nice and just greatly set it. I mean, she did a thing. And the cupcakes off the chain. I don't know where you get them from.
Well, that's shout out to McColl's with Hardcore Sweets. So
okay. So make sure you go check that out. And the Millennial Mom Motivator. There you go. Millennial Mom Motivator. Make sure you go tell everybody where they can reach you at. Last thing. How they can reach you on social media.
Oh,
You
me.
first.
Oh,
Yes.
Facebook, Stacy Bryant or Coach Stacy. Instagram, the original Stiletto Boss.
Why? I was going to ask you that question. The original stiletto boss. What that mean?
Well,
You like stilettos?
Well, yes, I do.
Okay.
I started it while I was in the military. I wore from boots to stilettos, and it was an empowerment group, my tribe, that I started.
Gotcha.
It's 800 women strong now, but so it's the Stiletto Bosses.
awesome.
But I'm the
I knew it
original
was a
because
reason.
I formed it, and then I found when I incorporated the name, I found some other Stiletto Bosses out there. And I was like, no, I'm the original.
Okay.
That's why I got it for.
How can people reach you?
You can reach me on Instagram at the Millennium Mom Motivator. I'm on Facebook, Tawanda Sparks.
All right.
Facebook is Dietrich Gary, and my Instagram is Ms. MZD Dawn. For Cupcakes and Coffee, it's Cupcakes and Coffee Art Show. And hashtag don't call me a single mother ever.
That's awesome.
Sorry.
Let's call her boss lady. Go ahead.
That's right.
Si?
I'm under construction, so now I'm good. No, you can find me on Instagram, Artful with 2 L's, passion. Just doing my art because that's what's been healing me.
All right. And I'm Wardell Richardson. You can find me under my name, Wardell Richardson, on every social media outlet from Snapchat to Instagram to Facebook to LinkedIn, whatever you put in any of them, I'm there. And also make sure you follow us on WCEG, WCEGWOOD, the online Hollywood of the South on Facebook. Follow us on there. And I'm at my max, but you can follow me on my fan page. Everything that's on there is on my fan page too. And I'm gonna get rid of some of y'all. Some of y'all don't support anyway, so I'm gonna get rid of some. So anyway, I am. I am just a realist. So
Just to ask them nicely, just hey, if you don't support, can you just please just not follow me?
I mean,
Make room for
Somebody who want to.
hey,
and maybe that can come around and blessing for them.
When they do, I just be like, "Oh, somebody there. Let me find the next person," because I got people waiting.
You'll be popping up on the thing like, hey, do you know this friend? Do you know this friend? Yes.
So thank you, ladies, for coming on. This was a very
Thank you
great
for
show.
having us.
No problem.
Thank you,
for your
thank you.
transparency. Thank you for everything you're doing. I look forward to hearing more from all of you guys, which I clearly do because I see you guys all the time on social media. But so y'all stay busy. God bless. And once again, this is the last show until August. We will. Hey, I'm willing, and I want all my people who watch the show, let me know. Hit me in my inbox. What shows you want me to air again? A lot of you see my shows religiously. I've had some very great people on the show. Let me know what shows you want to see again. Hit me in my inbox. I'll replay them over the summer on Thursdays, same time. We'll be airing some of my shows from the past. Awesome shows. Love them. And just hit me in my inbox. Hit me in my inbox. Hit me in my inbox. Let me know.
That's not maxed out.
No. you can't max out the inbox.
I'm just saying.
He's so sick. On that note, we are out. God bless. See you next time.
Bye. Yeah.
Sayonara.
Oh, bye over there too.
Let me do it. You wanna talk about it? We gon' talk about it. You wanna talk about it? That Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. We can talk about it. That Hollywood of the South. Hollywood. Let me do it. WCEG, Hollywood of the South.